Alright guys, so today what we're going to be getting into is we're going to be doing doubles with Cody, with IBDW, and we're going to be getting some analysis going on Fox Falco matches. I'm not particularly sure why he wanted to do Fox Falco as opposed to Fox Marth. Maybe he thinks Fox Falco is more playable. We'll get to the bottom of this and more soon. Yeah. Mango won't take a lot of his time going into interactions. Cody has actually been pretty good about slowing Mango down. That has been more of a recent development between the two of them. And so Mango's had to do a bit more dash dances. Mango's had to play a little bit more passive, but generally that is just to get a better opportunity for him to go in. We're going to see a lot of strange like early down airs and things like that he's looking for, and it's going to be kind of weird, but we're going to kind of go into that, see how he makes that happen right now. Yeah, so this spacing that you're attacking from right here is out of his dash back. Really interesting position. As Falco, I'm not necessarily super concerned here as long as like I do like a pivot laser or something right here. And depending on how the Fox wants to play, I could even back up a little bit, let the Fox hang himself. But Mango's not really a type of player that'll move back an extended amount in positions like this, so I think this nair here is okay as long as you're not going high into a shield or something. So yeah, he moves forward. I think if he doesn't move forward or he like pivots here, it's more of a challenge because you were a little bit far away. But okay. You wanna make sure, because like the range you're at is good, but it's mainly good if Falco is like trying to go in or he's trying to reposition and see what's going on. Otherwise, I'd say you want to actually be slightly closer before attacking. Cover any more slight dash backs or wave dashes back or even short out backwards, things like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a clean hit because you're covering his aggression there, and you staggered your timing really well with the dash back. So again, the dash back is going to give Mango just a moment to say, oh, well, maybe he's going to reposition, maybe he'll full hop, and then you intercept him, and it's just really clean. It's hard. So like, you get off balance versus Falco. Sometimes you just gotta rock the shield.
Yeah.
So I mean that
everything.
So you run off right as he comes forward. Do you want to talk about your decision making running off there?
My guess is I didn't want to back air because I expected him to dash dance, because normally if I do back air here, he dash backs, dash in, down airs.
Right.
So I'm guessing that's what happened. I actually don't usually see him shoot lasers here, I think. I'm actually kind of surprised he shot that laser. Yeah,
sometimes when Falcos are on the ground, just something to kind of keep in mind. Like, Mango will mix up whether he's going to try and go into you or whether he'll try and wait, but sometimes something else he'll just do is just kind of shoot lasers around on the ground and shift his position. And part of the reason on Falco's end you want to shift your position like that is because otherwise, like, Fox can attack from the vulnerable point in Falco, which is kind of that diagonal, like, in front of him. And so when you crash that diagonal, he can't really do much. If he turns around, then he loses mobility in front of him. So it's very important, like, to try and put pressure there. You run down in front of that, which is fine. And I think you could, if you ran down a different timing, you could have reset there. I think also, like, I don't know how much you attack from the platform, but it doesn't seem like he was overly concerned about that or shielding or anything like that. So I think, like, pressuring more of that and making sure he really feels the pain of being cornered. Because again, he goes back to the edge. Mango is going to double laser half the time. I'm sure you know how to play around that really well. Yeah. And so you had a good position there, and you had good damage. And so then you run off back to center, which is an okay decision. It's just if you're going to do it, I would say, let's see. Let's go back and look at it again for just a second. I'd say if you're going to do it.
Oh, the quality just got way better. I don't know why.
Oh, sick. So you in this position I paused at, you're running off and he has the gun out already. You can actually just react and double jump away so that you avoid how that turns out. And so like those are the kind of reactions where if you're hitting them, it is going to feel better, like you were saying. But it's just kind of something that I want to point out that you even if you make kind of a suspect call, you can still bail yourself out of situations like that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
One of the goals in this set was actually to use platform. So I think it's kind of silly that he didn't attack me there, because my previous problem was I always attacked off the platforms, and one of my biggest priorities this tournament was not to attack off the platform every single time and just get like back, do this, because I always do the stupid run off back air that every Fox does, and I made it a point not to do it this time.
Okay.
And so I'm actually surprised that he knew that was coming, to be honest, or like didn't expect that at all. Maybe it might have been a bad decision by him on his part that worked out because I'm trying something new, honestly.
It could be, but let me add a little bit more to this if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
And I want to say that in a lot of situations when you're trying something new, the lead up to doing that, you might give some tells or something like that. So
okay, yeah.
you want to make sure that the actions preceding your different option are not totally different, because that's going to send a totally different message, and then you're not going to be sure if your change is even working then or not, and it's going to be kind of piecemeal to put that together. So you want to make sure that you have the same starting point. And so I think, again, like I was saying, pressuring him in the corner, good. You running off there is still fine. You can still bail yourself out, and you have to make sure you think about what you're doing before going in there. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, those are the full-ups. These are the full-ups that get me in trouble, especially because at 0. I don't know why I would ever do this at 0.
Yeah, so...
But these are the situations where he's lasering here.
Yeah,
and I just feel super uncomfortable. Like, I know he's going to try to aerial me, but if he drifts back, it's like, do I try to wave dash out? Do I wait for the downer and run up and JC shine him? Do I drill out a shield?
So let's break down a few things here. So there's a situation where he's falling off and he's lasering you, and you shield, and you continue running into his shield right here. So I mean, this situation is what Falco wants. So let's just be clear about that. This situation is win position for Falco, because close to Fox, laser out, he can shine, he can grab, he can shine, grab, he can double shine. I mean, like this is where he gets to really do his stuff. So I mean, this is the position that you really don't want ideally.
Okay.
So the first thing would definitely be to, like, if you react and you see him coming here, wave dash back, full hop, anything like that. Yeah.
So just avoid this type of position entirely. That makes more sense.
Yeah. So this position's rough. So I mean, you feel bad here because it's an objectively difficult position.
Yeah.
So another position that's not quite as rough as this one, but is still difficult, is like around Fox's F tilt range or jab range, and Falco lands a laser there, because now he could get a JC shine, especially depending on your DI or SDI or lack thereof. He can get jab, he can sometimes link jab or F tilt out of that. So it's still a really good position for him, and he can kind of finagle his way in there. That's something I try to do when Fox is doing a lot of full up back air, try to challenge their landing like I was talking about before to get there. So this is his best position, but then there's another position a little before this, which I think might happen in a second. That is another really good one for him. So knowing just kind of the win positions for Falco and avoiding them is really good. I mean, kind of similarly for Fox, like Fox wants to be in the position where Falco is right now, except Fox wants either like the frame advantage or the little bit farther away spacing with Falco has no laser out. So the laser really changes the positions, whether it's out or not, whether he has the frame advantage or not. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Do you want to... This is the first position that has been played where Falco was on a platform and you were on the ground. Do you want to talk about that?
We could talk about it for sure.
I
think I'm just objectively pretty bad at these situations because I go for that way too much.
Just that back air?
Yeah.
I don't think that back air is...
take him out enough.
I don't know if that... Well, sure. Okay, I think that's fair. So let's look at that back air again one more time. So there's a little bit of a dash dance before this back air. What would you rather do instead of this?
So this back air is fine to do once in a while, but if I either waveland like outside of shield drop shine range, so like a little bit to the left, and I could like either shine grab or up tilt him if I expected to shield drop shine, I need to add some stuff like that, not to do as a base, but as a mix-up so that he doesn't just feel like he can hold shield all the time.
Sure.
Things to directly challenge his shields, basically.
Right. And I think that's fair. I would also say that this back air by itself is certainly not a bad option. You could get a kill off this. You want to make sure that you're not waiting too long so that Mango can't just shield drop and combo you or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I think you get center stage in position, which is really good. Certainly, there's the run in, and Mango hits your shield with like a pretty high dare from this platform.
I hope I shine this. Okay. Oh, I messed up my shine.
Yeah, you messed up your shine, and so there's another. So I want to kind of talk about a few different things Mango's done out of shield. So we see him shield here.
Yeah.
And then I think your up tilt would have barely missed, but even if it hits, it still this still can illustrate my point. Or actually you just moved, so I don't think you were going for that. Never mind. So he's doing a laser out of shield here. But Mango hasn't lasered out of shield very much so far. When he took the stock last time, he actually did wave dash out of shield, which of course makes sense. He was on the platform.
Yeah.
But there's been some wave dash out of shield, not so much laser out of shield. But it's kind of important to keep in mind. This might be more for the viewers than for you, but to keep in mind Falco's options out of shield. Mainly, what you're going to be looking at are laser, full hop, and down air. Mango hasn't been down airing out of shield very much. I think Fox has really been punishing that. I think that is something that you guys are looking for a little bit more. Am I right or wrong about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So mixing then laser and then not doing full hop so much, but then doing wave dash, especially wave dash in, is a bit of an offbeat, off meta option that a lot of Falcos still aren't picking. And since Shine comes out so quickly, you can still come in. And since Fox has to respect down air range, and he also is looking really hard to get to attack only when he sees that laser startup, and you might be looking for Nair, wave dash in as Falco can actually get you ASDI down Shine. Want to make sure you're really paying attention to what Falco can do there. So, I mean, a very easy counter for Fox, if Fox is standing still and Falco wave dashes in, is just to get his own Shine first, because Falco will be in lag and everything like that. But of course, there are other things. If you're moving, then you just space around it and you would back air, and that would beat if he down air too, or it would pressure if he did shield, stuff like that. So, it's kind of just important, or you can be F tilt. F tilt's just another easy one, just depending on his percent, whether that's good or not. At this percent, it'd be really good, especially by the edge. But yeah, just the position that you're at very specifically to get around Falco's dare out of shield is really important, because his wave dash back then determines how much leeway he's going to get on the laser coming in, and also whether he's under a platform or not. Because again, to talk, this will just be for viewers perhaps, but when Falco's under a platform lasering, it's very hard for Fox to crash that diagonal that we talked about, where he gets the laser out, but it's much harder for him to get up tilt back air out because it's behind him. So for Fox to pressure that, he has to usually get on the ground first, mess with Falco first, or get on a platform first. Both of these can have their lag challenged by Falco, kind of going back to what I was saying at the beginning of this talk. So actually, let's talk about this really quickly. When Mango has his back to you, so he down airs in and you're full hopping, and you hit the back of his shield, and it's a strong hit. This actually is a very scary position for Falco. The reason,
push off.
Yeah, the push off. Yeah, he can push off and he won't grab the edge. And then you just hit his shield with a strong move, so he's not even going to be protected very easily. So like, there are things you could look at here, like down smash that could clip him. But it's very important to think about, like, even if his percent were 0, like getting pushed off here, he'd have to like shine to turn around to jump back on the stage. He'd have to like do like a shorten after he got pushed off. It wouldn't really be able to get a push off and do it back air or something, because it would just be too much lag. He could just die from that. So this is a really good position for Fox. Just normally, like Cody was saying a moment ago, actually, putting Falco with his back to you on the platform, he can back air, slide off, and then it's not a big deal. But here, absolutely not a position he wants to be in, and it really just goes to show you that exactly which platform and exactly where on the stage, the same type of position can look the same but be drastically different. So Mango's very far away here. Yeah. Right, but you do have frame advantage. So it's actually a really interesting situation that I would see a lot with Mango. And this sort of, and like he does very, very off meta things. Like that's something that's just really, really him, is he'll do so many off meta things, kind of like the wave dash out of shield you're talking about. Yeah. But this downer out of the corner, like you could only do it if the other player like respects you a good bit and expects you to like, because last time he was in the corner, what was he doing? He was lasering. Or he was wave dashing out. So now there's a little more distance, and he doesn't have frame advantage, and he wants to make sure that you respect him getting up so he can get laser out again in the future. So this is kind of like the mix-up plays he's going through. And so if you're going to pressure him on this down air, you have to make sure you're either at a spacing where you can react and punish it, or at least in a spacing where if he does surprise you and do a laser, it's going to be okay. And the more you, I think generally the more you discourage either, like the more you make Mango wait in this situation, the better. But generally he's not someone that's going to wait, so you have to really like play this mix-up situation very well. But just for a lot of other people watching this, as Falco, it's really not a bad idea to go for YOLO Dare in some situations, especially since Fox is at 44%, as we're seeing here. Good for knockdowns, good for combo starters, but even sometimes when you do a full hop dare, or not full hop, a short hop dare, and you go through Fox or any other character, you can get back to center if you just keep going and you don't fast fall. Mango actually is someone, I think about a decade ago now, started doing down air through people, then turning around and running in and grabbing them. This is because they would hold shield, they wouldn't be at quite have frame advantage to shine, and so he would get a grab out of that. You'll see him do that mix-up actually once in a while, even today, but a lot of times the down air itself will just hit raw for him because of this whole mix-up thing he has going for him.
How would I double jump it? That was just a bad double jump. Okay, I need to be better at working my way in there. I should not have been like just staying there holding shield in the corner the entire time. I'd rather run forward.
Which part?
So look at when I'm on the right side of the stage.
Okay.
He's far away here.
So we're over here. You guys trade lasers.
And he's like super far over there, and I'm just holding shield here. I could take space there before. Like he was further away before that. There's no reason for me to be holding shield under the right platform there, even if it's scary. I think it's a bad thing for me to do.
I think that's fair. Something that can give you a little bit less stun is so right when you guys shoot lasers here, I think something you can do is either flop over a laser, or you can at least crouch cancel the laser that's coming in, so you have a little bit less stun, so you can move forward. It's actually a bit weird. I've seen Drug Fox talking about this a little bit. Is when Falco's a little bit farther away, he can actually like come in after the first laser a little bit easier with another one, because by the time the first one gets to you, he's already like getting prepped on a second one. So it's a bit odd. So I don't really fault you for not going in super hard here. I think at least getting on a platform is fine as a middle ground, because again, that's gonna extend how far forward you can go a short hop, things like that. And again, Falco, he doesn't want to necessarily come in super hard, especially if he sees you crouch cancel. Or let's imagine, instead of crouching, you run forward a little bit first. So you run forward a little bit. Now if Falco does take a big full forward laser commitment, you can take your first hit, run in and up smash him, most likely. And so I think that's kind of the option you were more thinking about there, as opposed to shielding. But I just kind of wanted to point out a couple different ways that you could have played around that scenario.
So many situations, if I just use a little more, I think JC Shine actually that was ridiculous. So many of these situations, JC Shine would have been so good too. That down air pullback, if I just ran in JC Shine, it would have beat his pullback right there. If I just done running JC Shine immediately.
Oh, immediately?
Yeah.
You're beating it out?
I need to just predict it more, because JC Shine isn't a gigantic risk, and if I miss JC, I could just double jump to top platform and be safe. Especially on platform stages.
Sure, I mean, where were you trying to... let me see before you're trying to hit it. So you're trying to do it like... Oh, yeah, I guess you could maybe beat it out there, yeah.
It's just that it's so
hard,
fast.
It's hard to know, because if you do that and he lasers instead, it's a rough position. But you might be able to jump around it anyway. It really depends on when you both decide to act, which is really spicy way to play against Falco.
It just doesn't threaten any... Like, I want a way where it's like... Falco's always scared of me in these situations where it's like this close, and so they have to respect that, and I can actually like control a mix-up off of it. I want to be able to outplay them in RPS and not just have like, well, if my shield works, it's great. If it doesn't, then I'm kind of screwed. I don't like that situation at all.
Right. I mean, forcing just counter hits and everything like that, you're not getting to play neutral and everything like that so much.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're coming in with the idea for the JC Shine. I think that's fine. It's just, if you are uncertain whether the Shine's going to hit or not, and you full hop because you're like, I don't know, and then the Falco gets hit, then you might not be able to get a punish off of it. So it's either like he gets a down air on you, or you get a Shine and maybe you don't get a punish. So the risk reward on that doesn't feel very good to me.
Sure. I do agree with that. I think it's still something... It's not something that I would do every time. It's just I have to threaten it.
Okay.
It's just something that I want to keep in... And usually I wouldn't fall, but I usually wave dash down after the JC Shine, or if I realize it's going to connect, I would just do the regular wave shine. But it's just not threatening here. So it's like, there's not... I haven't done anything to threaten this down. Like, I could dash back as well, but everything else in my play also keeps giving up stage positioning. So I want somewhere to keep center stage. I need something to threaten him quickly in center stage. Because even if it hits and doesn't get, he's still in the corner, and I get center stage back, and that's still really scary for him. I wouldn't like to be there as Falco.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I also think that going for up smash once in a while,
I didn't up smash enough this set either.
I feel like even if you hit Falco's shield with it, he's normally not going to be able to, like, it can depend. Like, if you get the spaced up smash, he's not going to be able to punish it. So like, you could catch him out if he moves backward and does a laser. You could sometimes catch him out when he's doing the down air. The down air is going to be what is a real problem here still, but again, like we were talking about, the more you force down airs into you, the better off you can be. So can you tell me kind of what you were looking for? Let's see, let me pause and let me see what you're looking for. So you're right here.
For an up smash, and I'm just shielding when I realize I'm not going to get it. I think I was just fishing for an up smash.
Okay, and you're trying to up smash. What move do you want him to do when you try to up smash? Do you?
I don't know if I'm looking for one. I don't know if I'm looking for one. It's like the way when I'm playing this type of stuff, I use it a lot versus Puff. I'm looking way more for positions than I am for like specific moves. And so I'm looking to catch him like an offbeat and try to like scare him into either spot dodging or throwing out like a bad back air. But something like that. I'm trying to catch him like maybe make like a weird movement decision so that I can open him up with an up smash. But I should also be. The reason I don't like doing this too much is because I'm also giving away. I'm aware. The reason I this is bad is because I'm also giving away opportunity to like find any other openings, and I'm tunnel visioning too much. And so I think there's like 3 or 4 spots here where I could have easily gotten a hit if I reacted properly. Give me a second, but I didn't. I can text it to you. Someone just knocked on my door.
Okay, do you need to do something this for a second?
No, I'm literally just texting someone a Wi-Fi password.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, I just saw it. But yeah, so I just need to be better about I shouldn't be looking for an up smash for like 10 seconds anyways. I don't know why my brain decided to do that. I actually have no idea.
Yeah, so I kind of want to take this moment while you're doing that text to kind of let chat know that if you are looking for an option and it seems to be having struggle to materialize, make sure you're kind of looking for what is most common, what is most easy to land. Of course, Cody has been getting a lot of mileage off of his shines. He's been getting a good amount off of back airs into other situations, sometimes out of his nairs. The fact that he wasn't looking for some of that is partly because Mango is at very low percent, and it's also just kind of important to remember that on this platform situation that has happened a few times before, Mango has gotten Dare involved a lot. So it means if we are looking for up smash, we are going to be looking for a trade. Kind of just it's just one of those things where you have to kind of think, how can we beat this down air? Some options are up tilt, shine out a shield depending on when the down air hits us. We could jump over Falco and then hit him or pressure him on his landing. We could back air just to get some damage. We could let him just come off, do the move, and condition him to not get rewarded for that, so he does something else coming off the platform later we could get a punish out of. But that being said, we do see this Falco on platform, Fox on ground situation being surprisingly more different for Fox than what we were saying before. If you're taking Falco's position on the platform, obviously we're very worried about Fox doing up tilt and back air into us, and that's what makes falling with laser especially scary. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be trying to move backward off the platform so that Fox cannot hit us if Fox is taking more of a center stage path. This is because the platform is so wide, we can move backward, and Fox still has to worry about run off downer, which is the option Mango did end up choosing. And so if we move backward, that'll end up being the safer option, sort of as well with shield drop laser. Even if Fox is looking for up smash, it would be he'd still have to be pretty quick to come and get that. And there are also fakes that Falco could do if he knew Fox was tunnel visioning on that, like shield drop, see Fox run in, double jump back up, or wave land, or so on and so forth. So there are some other options that Mango has been picking here. He has been jumping into Fox from the platform. That is kind of important to keep in mind. Part of the reason for that is because Fox has been so close. Had Fox been a little bit farther away, laser opens back up as an easier option for Falco. Just goes to show you that positions are really important in Melee, and the way that you think about the options and classify them, and you can know what you can absolutely hit and what you can't in the moment or in general, is going to be so valuable to your in-game play. Cody was looking for a specific option, just didn't end up materializing for him, but he was able to play around in the situation with the shield afterward, even if it did make him kind of uncomfortable. So even if you're looking for something and you feel that you get messed up, you kind of want to make sure that you're not getting stuck in the place of, oh, well, I messed up and I made this mistake, and this thing shouldn't have happened. Like, it's happened, it's what it is, that's life. You just got to kind of go with where you are now. Yeah, I kind of want to talk about that real quick.
You talked about the down air and then dash back and grab. When Falco's in corner, something that can be really good, like nair him and then run back and run to mid-center stage to punish a roll, because every Falco also really likes to roll out a shield.
It's and the reason for that is because so many of his other options are so slow. So
Yeah.
roll puts him back to center. Even if he gets hit, sometimes he can get out, and he'll say it's better than getting shined by the edge.
Yeah.
So very common for Falco to just kind of roll there. Great point out by Cody. Did Mango give you that? Yeah, right there.
I think I wanted to drift back and back you here, but my muscle memory took over and I did a drill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think you can see the pullback. He had the right idea. He was like, oh, I react to Falco doing this, but just the option there doesn't get him pulled back all the way to get the punish. So yeah, I mean that looks like you had a lot of the right idea, and I think Mango's pretty good about changing up whether he's going to roll or not. But however, he was really pressured in a similar situation where he aerialed into the corner and wasn't able to hit you and did pressure you on the battlefield game. We do see him just rolling immediately in case worry about pressure this time. So just kind of keeping in mind that between games, adaptation can still carry over between players. So, I mean, he's doing a lot of the same options, but he's changing his timing on it. And I think you holding center, like you were talking about wanting to do on Battlefield, helps with that. And I think the stage, having a larger base on the bottom of the stage, just gives you more time to move back and reset without feeling immediately cornered. Because you dash back once on Battlefield, you're just immediately cornered. So just showing you that the stage makes such a big difference.
Well, interesting. So, go back for a second. Hold on.
Oh, sure. Where would you like to go back to?
It's like 620. Like, just play from here.
Okay.
I just want to see it go fast. Right here.
Oh, right. Oh.
Huh.
What did you want to look at?
If I know that he's going to down air to shield him a low percent, maybe I should just jump out. Because I was thinking about that before. So, like, go back slightly. Watch what happens when I jump out of shield here. So I jump right here into the down air. And if I ASA it down instead of out, I could have just grabbed him.
Yeah. It might have been hard to have gotten a follow-up just because it's such a low percent on these platforms, but I mean, up smash, shine, you can grab two.
Yeah,
it's just,
I could have gotten anything. Well, if I think that they're going to go to platform, I usually back throw to catch them going. To so that it becomes a tech chase instead of a platform tech chase.
Yeah, but you're also back throwing him close to the edge, so that's also
yeah, it's fair.
Yeah,
but just a thing, like maybe I should just start jumping into the areas a low percent more. Like I think maybe doing short hop ASC down a low percent might not be bad actually.
Yeah, you just have to make sure you get the mileage off of it. Mango has been doing pullback downer as well. He was doing some nair too, but it seems like if he suspects you shielding or moving in, he's looking more for down air. So
it's only at low percent, but just an interesting. Well, if I dash forward and up smash, I think it would cover even regular drift and pullback. Because I don't think he could go too far away that up smash. Fox has very big feet.
His feet are so huge.
I don't think he can pull back far enough that I wouldn't be able to get both. And I could probably react to the drift too. So maybe that is something to keep in mind in those situations. Because these are scramble situations where Falco is drastically favored, but I want to try to figure out what I can do to make him better.
Yeah,
and I can get out of fourth of them, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, your full hops in difficult situations have not gotten punished so much, and I think that's probably because you've been doing it less.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like that you're thinking about jump. I like that you're thinking about just taking the down air. I like that you're thinking about up smashing sometimes. Because the more stuff like that you do, the more complicated it is for Falco. And the more scenarios where, like you say, the more scenarios where you slow Falco down, the better it is, because then Falco has to be more indecisive. Do I go in now or do I go in slightly later? Do I laser here? Do I decide if it's even worth lasering? Because if you slow Falco down and you make him, if you eventually just get him to the point where he's like just sitting under a platform and lasering, like there are so many Falcos that play against you that do that that can be a position, as long as you are very comfortable with playing around that, it can be something that's a lot more comfortable for you.
Yeah.
And especially at low percent, like if you can make that worth it for you, the main thing is like down air will hit pretty hard, does a lot of damage. So if you're going to take that, you have to absolutely make sure that you're punishing him back pretty hard, because if you get you get a down, he hits a down air, then you shine him and then he techs it, and you're not able to get a follow up. The stage position and frame advantage may be slightly better for you, maybe, but the percent, right? You're just getting so much closer to that, and then he only needs to land, like, even if you were at 0 before, he only needs to land like the down air shine follow up is much easier from that point. Landing another shine will make it easier. So like it's very important that like you have that really optimized, and like because Falco, is going to be looking for L cancels obviously on these aerials, like it's more likely he could tech, but I mean there are all kinds of weird things, interactions that can happen when you're not totally sure what move he's going to do and things like that. So like you can actually get like shines off of his weak nair sometimes if you do it like quickly enough, just because his leg is still sticking out. So there's a lot of interesting things that can kind of happen in these situations, and so I think the more you play around with it and see kind of all the quirks, the more you can kind of assume where that would be good for you to go for and where not to.
That one. Oh, I should have falling up air. That was bad. Falling up air would have been way better punch. Shield's not back here, so I've been using that a lot more too recently, and it just feels very strong. It feels a little more complicated to use it versus Falco, but in all the other matches, it feels amazing, and I still feel like there's a lot of uses versus Falco.
It is. Fox has such a long dash a lot of the time that just stopping point blank with shield is going to be really good. And then because his dash is so quick, his jump squat is so quick, his back air that comes out is so quick, and the angle it comes out is pretty good because Fox is a little bit shorter. So putting that out at an angle where a lot of short up approaches come in, especially from the spacies, sometimes from other characters, just depending, like if you think she's going to nair out a shield or whatever, then that's a good place to put that out. So that coming out really quickly is good. And then with Falco, there's a timing to set that up a lot of the time because of laser. You run away, you're close to him, you turn quickly, you shield, and the reason you shield is so that you get less stun and it doesn't turn you around. So like if you get lasered directly, it'll give you a certain amount of stun and it will turn you to face Falco. Shield, less stun, and you're facing the way you want. Back air out of shield. In Falco Dittos, it's actually pretty common to it's one of the better things you can do versus lasers, to take a laser and back air out of shield right away too. But with Fox, it's certainly faster, and it can often lead to more of a punish. So pretty important option that Cody's talking about there. And of course, he could mix it up with full hop. He could actually wave dash into Falco and shine if he was very confident that the Falco was going to kind of wait him out or do another laser as a result of this. Or he could just hold shield a second and wait. He could go into a platform because I believe he was close to one there. So there's a lot of things that Fox can always think of and do in a lot of these situations. And as Falco, you want to make sure that you're first covering like Fox going into you, because if you're not covering that, then you can often get intercepted, because doing early aerials is really hard against Fox if he's, because a shine out of shield just beats so much anyway, and then he's got such a really good dash dance grab, and he can also full hop over you and hit you. So you've got to really make sure that you're covering a lot of the basic stuff first before you can get to more of the complicated Fox movements. If Fox backs up and you do a laser, that's still net benefit for you. You still maybe get some damage or some pressure and frame advantage. So you want to make sure you're thinking about that from Falco's end as well.
So that was super fun. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I hope your chat enjoyed. I look forward to nothing but nice comments on your YouTube video. I know mine will have nothing but nice comments. Because, right.
Except for those 4 bots that come in that I still can't figure out.
Yeah, no, we'll get to the bottom of this. We'll get to the bottom of this. Those are the Nintendo bots. There's only so much you can do. Nintendo bots. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and good luck against your Falco demons.
Thank you, and you have a great day as well.
Thank you, man.
See you. Bye.
Peace.